Hi everybody, it's John, and it's time to just zinc about it. Well, today I'm zinking about giving you guys an update on all the fish tanks. So you can see we've added some fish. Over on your left we still have the original 4 bass, Jaws, Tank, and the other 2. There goes Tank chasing 1. Jaws gets chased a lot. So I went to try to get some perfect size bluegills like the one on the left. That would have been a perfect size bluegill. And it was dark in here, and look at the big one that I caught. I got 2 big ones, and I've got 2 small bluegill in here. And we're probably going to take the 2 big ones out when I do my next water change. You can see the new design of the tank. Looks pretty good. The other big bluegill is on the bottom right. He will come out, but we're going to do a feeding. Let you guys check it out. Nice calming video, watching really cool fish. So let's start with the feeding of the bass. So I went ahead and caught some of these little bait fish. So here we go. Even the big bluegill goes after him. But he's certainly not as good at it as the... Look, there's one left on the left side. Watch this. Somebody will see it. Boom! Alright, so now that the bass are fed, let's feed some shrimp to the bluegill. We'll just throw it all in there. See what happens. Some of the bass will eat a little bit about it, but it's mostly for the bluegill. And you can see them mowing out. The other 2 bluegill are on the right, down on the bottom. They're going to come out as soon as they figure out that there's food. They'll be out here. So the food's starting to make its way down. I changed the way that the water flows. I'm going to have to turn that up. Jaws eats some of these shrimp too. I think he doesn't get enough to eat because the other fish are just so doggone aggressive and fast. But I really think the fish are healthy, and well, even Tank's eating some of the shrimp. There he comes. Here comes a little one trying to come out, and then the smaller of the 2 big ones. They're not getting anything. So I hope you enjoyed watching the fish eat while I was scrambling around trying to get water into the reservoir basins down below. I didn't even realize the tank was low. So yeah, but the other fish is out finally. He's checking out to see if he can find some food, but a lot of it's already gone. I try to let that frenzy from the little fish going in, and he'll come out after that because he sees all the action. But he's eating, but I'll have to feed him some more. Let's move on to some of the other tanks. Check them out. Alright, so we changed the small tank, and I've put very, very, very tiny little bluegill in here. We have 1 flathead minnow and a couple mosquito fish in here. I'll go ahead and feed them some pellets. They really enjoy these. And let you check these guys out. But everyone's really acclimated well to this little tank. So yeah, it's a fun little tank. I'm going to try to get the, for example, that big bluegill, right, the one in the kind of the middle at the top. Probably going to try to get him out because he's a little too big for the other fish, but they're gobbling it up. They eat just fine. I tried to make this a little bit more of a recreational tank. I really wasn't using it for much other than this. So last time I actually got fish for food for the bass, I ended up throwing a bunch of bluegill in there. Even and when I put the big bluegills into that tank, I put bluegills into that tank, and they gobbled them all up. I think the tank looks pretty good. Let's go move on to the middle tank, or the feeder tank. All right, this is the feeder tank. I just took, 15 fish out of there for the bass. There are a couple small bluegill in here, and these guys will eat the pellets too, without a problem. Once they figure out they're in there, and they've acclimated real well, so I'm gonna have to go catch some fish tomorrow to stock up on these little mosquito minnows. But they really they can gobble up 20 of them without a problem. So I'm running low. These pellets will start popping down there on the back of they're at the back of the tank. Here they come. I do think these guys prefer the flake over the pellets. Let's put some flake in there. Now these guys sleep down on the bottom in those rocks, so even if the food drops into the rocks, these guys are down there snooping around trying to find some place to sleep that's safe and no predators. But there aren't any predators in this tank. When this thing's full, it's a lot of fun to watch. But it has to be full for a couple days so the new ones figure out that this is food. So they're not very hungry today. I think they're scared because I just took a net through there and ripped out a bunch of them. Anyway, let's wrap it up. You know the routine. Please like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. If you're not subscribed and you made it this far, I'm pretty impressed. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you soon.